The gym in George Bailey, I've never been there, so I don't know how it is. I've never been to South Bay, so I don't know how it is. What I'm describing is central downtown. I've been to the new one, I've been to the old one, but I'm just talking about the old one because I was 18. And I've never been to Las Colinas, or the one that's El Cajon. Was that El Cajon County? Anyway, I only been to downtown in George Bailey, and George Bailey is they used to call that one Gladiator School because it used to be rocking and rolling. But for the most part, I believe that was the gym. Inside the cell living, mostly everybody was looking at boatloads of time. So that's immediately all that's left on the streets. Which for me is mind-blowing, bro. Because, I mean, people is out there on the streets murdering. And so, as soon as you get there, it's like, psh, we don't care about none of that. That's all out there. I mean, what kind of world is that, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm not the smartest, man. But damn, I ain't the dumbest either. You know what I'm saying? And I know how to put 2 and 2 to make 4. And so that didn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing that was the first thing. The second thing was it's a pecking order, man. It's always a pecking order. You don't see a pecking order until you incarcerated. On the streets, as far as I can't say, like I said, I'm not from everywhere. I can just say as far as where I'm from. When you're on the streets, man, ain't no pecking order, man. Every man for himself. Everybody got guns. Everybody got knives. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, none of that stuff matters. But when you're inside of the penitentiary, because it be race riots and stuff like that, you have a chance to see order, organization. You got, you know what I'm saying, pecking order, the levels, who's who and what's what. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's something that you have to go through in the county jail, and that's kind of trivial. But then the penitentiary, hitting the penitentiary at 19 years old, and seeing that we all get along, it's a San Diego thing. I'm talking about Bloods and Crips. Now, mind you, this is years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure. But still, yet seeing that years ago, when you got to different penitentiaries, the Bloods and the Crips get along from Dago. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the situation, depending on how it is, depending on how it's gonna go. I ain't lying to you, man. I lied for you before I lied to you. And so when I get to like the main line in Ironwood, and my big homeboy, shout out to Shannon Bow, I gotta speak on you, big homie, because even in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, you was trying to be my bully protector. And it's funny because even though I was, we were grown, we're in the penitentiary, you still find a way to try to squeeze in there and help your boy out. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, since I'm on it, I might as well mention it. It was a riot, Bloods and Crips, and a big old Rip is rushing towards me. When he's rushing towards me, I'm rushing towards him. And as soon as me and dude make contact, Shannon Bow, he lead the Rip he fighting with and come over there, and we start getting down with the Rip. So, and then I left from there and went to another one. Then he gets shot in the knee with a pellet gun, with a bullet. They got the plastic bullets. I forget what they call them. But anyway, he get hit with one of them. Anyway, he has the line. At the time, he had the keys, man. And so as soon as I hit the line, and he tells me that, all that San Diego stuff is on the streets. And then I see him, and shout out to homeboy Buntry from Lincoln Park. Him and the homeboy Buntry hella tight. They was buffing partners and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Running around on Monster Swole and stuff like that. But to see them tight like this, that blew my mind, you know what I'm saying? And so, it's like, what is it all for? You know what I'm saying? Like, the meaning of it is gone when that happened. For me, okay? I'm no longer lost no more, because now I'm in the most horrible place on earth, bottom of the barrel, scum, and The rivals that's trying to take my head off on the streets were in the cell with each other, having each other's back, spreading, trying to figure out ways to make plays so that we can live while incarcerated, down the riot and all that, go to the hole together, everything, and then get back on the streets and go back to the norm. That, for me, I'm too thorough for stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, that blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? Now my mind is thinking different. It's thinking different, you know? And then you put on top of that, I had a way to get drugs inside of the penitentiary. And I told 3 of my homeboys the technique in which to do it before they went home. None of them come through for me. And I've been knowing 2 of them since I was knee-high to a donut. None of them come through for me. The Lincoln Park boy, who I had beef with on the streets, who most definitely had beef with me and my kind on the streets, came through. 100. 10 toes. One time. Bro, when stuff like that happens, it affects your mind. It affected mine. When I got back to the cell, asked Marley P, rolled up that first J and smoked it, I cried. I cried, man. My enemy just did this, man. My enemy. So, this is my first time, man. It changes everything. Everything is different now. What is this all for? This line that we push. This role that we're playing. These things that we're doing. No limits we're willing to go. For us and ours. But when you get to where it's foul, horrible conditions, you find out we good. It's not bad. That don't do something to the psyche, then something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? And then if you can get out, back on the streets, and be on some set trip after that, then you know, that's cool on you. I couldn't. That's why later on, I was willing to break up our cars and all that old kind of stuff, because I'm not about to be playing no little punk game like that when real lives is being shattered, man. See, people like to think about the homeboys that's resting in peace. Hey, listen, they gone. Forget them. What about the victims that's still here? Thank you, CYA, for giving me Victims Awareness Program. So now that I look at victims, what about my babies, man? What about the babies? Our babies. I ain't talking about everybody. I'm talking about our babies. What about our babies? What? They supposed to live in poverty and come up the same way we did? And go through the same transitions we did? That's not acceptable. That's unacceptable. What about the wives, man? You know? It's just, what about everybody else, man? Moms. You know, it's deeper than that, man. And so this way of thinking and living that has no merit, but is shattering everybody's lives, is all false. Gino didn't understand it, man, when I got out. The way I had changed. Because it wasn't me. I was the gangster. And I was, and I am, will always be the gangster. But it's what I choose to be the gangster for. Not being a gangster for some silly shit that don't matter, where it's all fake and fictitious. I'm going to be the gangster for the things that matter, man. My family, God, love, truth. So anyway, That's how it was the first time when I hit jail at 18, 19, man. It was a traumatic experience that I had to go through, and thank God that I made it through. And, you know, just looking back, man, just wishing my homeboys that was alive, that was passed, or, you know, at that time, wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were, then they could see like, damn, you know, the ones that's doing all day, for them to be like, you know what I mean? So anyway, with that being said, man, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do want y'all to subscribe, like, share, and comment. I do want y'all to go hit up 5-Star General Volume 1, Cali Bangin'. That is available on Amazon.com. I do have Volume 2, The Street Marine, en route, will be coming soon. Make sure that y'all look out for that. Go pick up the soundtrack and the mini movie. That would also be on its way with an Audible, so that you can listen to it while you're jogging, working out, buffing, or whatever. You know what I mean? Read your Bibles and talk to God, as always. Peace. Oh yeah, these stories I share, some or all, is loosely based on facts. I put extras on it to drive in the message and the point in which I'm trying to make. I'm trying to save souls, and God willing, give out the real, you know what I'm saying, in hopes to change lives for the better, not for the worse. That's what Planet Zoo Entertainment is all about. With that being said, I love y'all. Peace.